Et maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, la session que nous attendons tous avant de clôturer la journée, c'est une double session. We have a double session now with Elisa foltyn from Germany and from the world. Because she was speaking recently at Joomla Day USA. I saw you last month at Joomla Day Netherlands. We see you today at Joomla Day France. Yes. I see you in September at Joomla Day, German-speaking Joomla Day in Austria, happening in Austria, in Salzburg this year. So yeah, you're from the world. And today you speak about yootheme. And I think you should click somewhere because there is something on the screen, yeah. Escape something, yeah, escape sortir.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Okay. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Elisa. Je ne parle français, mais je parle Joomla depuis plus 17 ans. I don't know. I'm sorry. Thank you for having me here and that I can present my most favorite page builder, yootheme Pro. I'm not working for yootheme, but I'm working with yootheme Pro often in my projects. And I want to show you how my workflow is with yootheme based on an example. If you have any questions, just ask Mark. Yeah, and
S'il y a besoin de traduction, je peux intervenir. Mais on ne va pas commencer à tout traduire, sinon sur 2 heures, ça va être un peu pénible de tout avoir en double.
I trust that you only say nice things. Who is already working with yootheme Pro? Who has already a subscription of yootheme Pro? Okay, so a lot of new users. I hope I can convince you today that yootheme is a really nice system. I built up an example website for a pet shelter, and it's almost only Joomla core. So this is Joomla 4 with template Cassiopeia and some contents on it. I show it to you in the back end. In categories, you see I have some categories. Perfect Friends has 2 items in it. Then I have a category Adopt a Pet. In the category Adopt a Pet, I have some dogs, I have some cats, and I have also a category about the adoption process, how to adopt a pet. Then I have some informations about breeds. Breeds like maybe Persian cats or German Shepherd dogs and so on. So I have informations about the breeds and the categories. Then for informing my website guests, I have a blog. In this blog, I have some articles about maybe how often to go to the vet with the pet or games to play with a cat or so. Then I have a FAQ category that contains a lot of questions. Then I have a volunteer category where I say who are the volunteers for the pet shelter, a welcome category, and a category for legal stuff like imprint or privacy policy. That's very common in Germany. I don't know if it's in France too. Yeah, so I have a legal category. Now let's look into one of these categories. I have the category dog, and I don't know if you know in Joomla, when you are in the categories and you tap on the number, you directly filter your articles. So I have here now the dog articles. And let's look into one of these articles. I have here French kisses, meet Chloe, the French bulldog, for example. and I have here intro text. Then I have here the mark that divides the intro text from the full text and the full text. And then I have some custom fields for the dog. It's here in Adopter Pet. I have here the name of the pet, the age, the gender, the size, and maybe which breed is related to this pet that is in the shelter. And then I have another tab of custom fields for general pet information on a scale from 1 to 10. How's the temperament of this dog? What is the activity level? Because if you want to adopt a pet, you want to know, is it an active pet or can it stay at home? Is it a fit with cats or not? So I have here this custom fields where I can select where this pet belongs to. I show you where I created the custom fields if you don't know that. So I have the field groups in Joomla, and I have here 3 different field groups: adopt a pet, breed information, and the general pet information. And in the fields, I have all these custom fields I can create in Joomla. So if you don't know yet how to create custom fields for Joomla, you should learn that separately, because the session is more about yootheme Pro. But just to show you, here are the custom fields. You can create text fields, you can create image fields, and whatsoever. So all these articles here are Joomla core, and the only one thing that I added to this installation is a plugin from Peter van Westen from Regular Labs, and that is custom field where I can select the related breeds, for example. That's what I showed you here in this article. And adopt a pet, I have here the related breed, right? This one. And this is a custom field plugin from Peter van Westen. It's even free. So that's the only thing that that's not Joomla core. And when we have a look now at this website, it's great. I just added articles, I added some images. It's already a nice website. So I have here adopt a pet. I did not change anything about it, and it's already nice. It's also responsive. But still, it's not modern, and it's not very competitive to other websites. And it would be nice to have a template that takes the Joomla core information and displays it in the template. And there's where yootheme 4 comes into play. So what you see here now is just Joomla core plus yootheme Pro. And it's independent. If I uninstall yootheme 4, you still have your Joomla core articles. They are untouched. You are not dependent on the page builder. I have here a nice header section that takes the intro image of this article and displays it in the header. It displays the article title here. It displays the full text here. Here I have a display of all the pets that want to be adopted, and it takes all the content dynamically from Joomla. Now I have here adopt a pet section with the images of the pets, with a headline, intro text, and it automatically gets filled if I add a new pet. I don't have to go on the website and add another section or another card that displays the new article. It gets updated automatically. Our team, also same. it takes the information from the volunteer section and displays here in this section. The most read FAQ I showed you in the Joomla core here. I have a FAQ category with 21 articles. Each question is one article. And here in the yootheme 4 website, I have the most read FAQ articles directly on the homepage. Then I have a section, Discover Our Blog, also automatically from the blog category. And here's just the footer. Let's look into how yootheme works like in the back end. Oops. So to prove you that I still have just Joomla core contents, I just show you. Here I have just Joomla core. Or let's filter by a category. Golden retrievers. I have the title here. I have the text here. Images and links. Oh, funny. Merci. So I have the image here from the breed, full image also, and again some custom fields that I created for the breed, like history, activity, training, some information about this breed in general. Now I go into yootheme. And that's the preview is split. So that's basically, one moment, I just disabled the search because I did not want to use this. Okay. So this is a side-by-side preview. On the right side, you see the website. On the left side, you have yootheme Pro. And in the template section, I can build my site with dynamic contents. I have here the header. I just delete this header section for now. You see it's gone. I can add sections here. And I can pull from this article the intro image, for example. I add the section, and next to the section there's an edit button. I click here on edit, and always in the advanced tab there's all the settings about the dynamic content. I click on advanced, and in dynamic content I say I want to pull information from the Joomla article. And now in the content settings of the section in dynamic, I say I want to have maybe the full article image here. It's a different one that I had selected before. Okay, now the section is very small. I want to have the section at least the viewport height minus 20%. I can set this up in the settings. I click on settings. And in height, I say viewport minus 20%. This way I still see that the site is continuing afterwards, and I have the image here in the middle. Okay, now let's add some overlay over the image. So when I put text on it, a title, I can read it better. In the image settings, I can add an overlay. And I think that's enough to have some contrast for the text. And now each section has an area where I can add elements into it. And when I click here on this plus icon, I have a selection of different elements I can add here. I can add a countdown, a headline, text, an image gallery, several different items. Here I want to add a headline. And when I click on the headline, you see we have again an advanced tab here. I click on advanced, and at dynamic content, I can say, I can either say I want to pull information from the article, or I can say I want to pull information from the parent source. That's a new feature in yootheme Pro, and it makes it possible that the parent source calls the parent source just once. It's a performance improvement in yootheme Pro. So in this case, as I want to call the article anyway, I select here parent article. And now in the headline itself, I have here this label at the top, dynamic. And when I click here on dynamic, you see that yootheme Pro is able to pull information from the article, from any source, from title, from the content. And when I scroll down, also from the custom fields. If they are filled with any informations, yootheme will pull them and display them here. And I want to have the article title. And here it is. So the Joomla article stays Joomla core, and yootheme just pulls the information. Now I want to center it. That's in settings. There are a lot of settings you can do with the elements. And now I have almost the same appearance as before. A couple of more settings I can do, like putting the header below the navigation. That's in the section settings. I can say that the max width is none, so it's full width. And the header should be overlay light and beneath the navbar. Voila. Almost voila. I have to set the image to cover the background. Good. And that's the way you build templates in yootheme Pro. You are able to add sections like this. You are able to set up the sections. If you click here on the pen, you can have a background image. You can even have a background video. You can set up background color, for example, muted. You see it, oh, you don't see it that well. Primary color, secondary color, and yeah, you can set up different things in the section itself, like also the height of the section or the padding. A lot of discover there. Now, inside the section, you have the possibility to add columns. Here on the right side, you have a pen, and when you click on this pen, you have all the settings for this row. You can click on layout, and here you have some settings for how many columns do you want to have. For example, 3 columns. Now I go back, and you see now in the overview that I have 3 plus icons here. And in each of this column, I can place elements now, whatever. I can add here an image, I can add here a text, and I can add here a headline. It goes very fast. Another thing that is possible in yootheme Pro since some versions is a new element, and it's called subform. Because if you are here in the row, you can select between one column and 6 columns and different other columns. But if you need it even more complicated, you can add an element that is called sublayout. And in the sublayout, you create a new layout that's like of inception. You can go deeper and deeper and deeper. That's very powerful. Any questions so far about sections and rows, elements?
Yes.
Yeah.
On responsive mode, can you choose the number, the behavior of the column?
Yes, you can.
For each device?
So if you are here in the row sections, you can say, I want to have a 3-column layout, that's my base. But you can click here on layout, and now you have settings for every possibility: phone, landscape, portrait, large screens. You can even set up a column to be ordered first on specific screens. Yeah, so you can set it up very, very deep. But if this does not match your desires, you can also say you want to hide a section on a specific screen. Where is it? Is it the whole section or just the element? I forgot. So you can either use UIKit classes to hide a complete section, like UK hidden at M or something, or the elements itself have also settings to be here, visibility, when is this image visible. I use this often when I, for example, use an image as a background of a column, but on mobile it does not make any sense. So I hide it on mobile and display it as a normal image element. Yeah, Nick?
Yeah. About dynamic elements,
Mm-hmm.
show it short on the display or pulling data from articles.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pull data from other extensions,
Yes.
content types?
Yes. So there are specific yootheme Pro sources you can pull from. Let's look at the list. You can pull from article, from the previous article, which is nice, like read in our next article this and that. Then you can select custom articles from a list. You can specifically say, I want to pull information from this and that article, from a category or categories, tags, menu items even, users, and files, means really the file system. And then there's an excellent extension by Zoolenders. It's called Essentials, yootheme Essentials. And with Zoolenders, you can pull content from so many sources, from a database, from Instagram, from Google Sheets. I can show this example later.
Other third-party extensions, like from Flexi Content or Getmont or Gashon or things like that?
Yeah, so with yootheme Essentials, you can build up a database query, a specific one, and then pull the contents from it, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Or there's a documentation from yootheme Pro to how to build the source. So you can develop a plugin to give the source like it's needed. But in Essentials, you can build really a lot. So let's look at the example how to pull from a specific category, like here, adopt a pet. Can I make this smaller? Yeah, maybe better. So I have here the section adopt a pet, and I have here an element that is a panel slider element. Let's just delete it. I added from new. So you have here basic elements that only display single items, or you have elements that can show multiple items. And for this adapter pad, I took the panel slider. And here in the panel slider, I add one item that's important for the multiple item elements, one item. And here I can select the source article. And now I can just match the dynamic content. Article title, where are my pads? Oh, that was wrong because I don't want it from this article. I want to have them from the category adopt a pad, like this. Yeah, good. So article title, I want to have a teaser text. I want to pull the image. And I want to have a read more link. I pull it from the link. And before I set the link text, I just put a white box behind because it's really not looking nice. So in the settings of this panel slider, I can set up, for example, to have a card default and have a small padding. And maybe align the image without padding. Okay, now it looks a little bit better. And now I go back to the matching. And now I have the one custom field in the pad with the information what the pad name is. So I can write in the link text, I can pull the pad name. This one. And when I click here on the pen, I can write before read more about. And now it's not always read more, read more, read more. It's nicer and it's more accessible for people. Read more about Max, about Princess, and so on. And I'm also able, if I want to manipulate the link area label. That's also important for accessibility if I need to. So this is how I pull the dynamic contents. Then what to show you next? Here I have a simple About Us section, not very, oops.
The deeper in this web when you go to see more.
All right. So now I have here adapter pad, and I go on cats. And now I have here overview of all the cats that can be adopted. And when I click on one cat, I have here a category article detail view with the title, the intro text, the image, a small profile. Here a section that says it's a match. I will come to this in a moment. And characteristics of the breed. So every pet has maybe a related breed or not. So here are the characteristics of the breed. And I have here related FAQs. Here at the bottom, decorative image and related blog posts. So let's look at it in yootheme Pro. I just can navigate here into cats and click on Max. And here I have a template for Max. At the top, just like I said, now I pull here the article title, no problem, the article text. Here I have a button that says I want to meet Max, which connects to the contact form. Then here I have pulled the name of the pet again and wrote before meow, my name is. And so that's the heading. And every cat profile looks the same, basically. It just pulls different information. The intro image, the headline, and a description list which pulls the custom fields, gender, age, and the size. Now I have here section. I called the section, it's a match if it is. What I did here is, in the section, in the advanced tab, I pull here the source from the article, and I have here dynamic condition. And I say, please display the section only if the custom field from the cat good fit with dogs is greater than 7. So only if on the scale from 1 to 10 the cat likes dogs more than 7, this section will be displayed. And now inside this section, I did one thing more. I wrote here, that's not dynamic content, I just wrote here it's a match. It does not need to be dynamic, I think. Here I pulled again the name of the pet, and it says Max is a perfect match for your canine companion. And here I have a panel slider that pulls all the dogs, but again with a dynamic condition. And the dynamic condition is good fit with cats should be greater than 7. So only the dogs will be displayed that like cats also. In the next section, I have the related breed. So my parent source for the section is the breed that is related to specifically this cat. If I change the cat, let's go to another one, Mr. Whiskers. So I have here different information about the breed, and I can also click here into the breed and find out more about the history of this breed and so on. Let's go back to the cat. Here I have related FAQs, means from the 21 questions that I have, I tagged the questions with Joomla core tags, and here only some shown that are related to the adoption process. Yeah, just the adoption process. So these are the related FAQs for the cats. Here I just pull the image from the breed, and at the bottom I have related blog posts. Pulled the articles from the category blog and only related with the tags. Where is it? Cats and adoption process. And still only Joomla core. Any questions about this dynamic content process again?
If I'm not mistaken, you can even say, like here it makes sense to say only blog posts about cats and adoption. You could also say only articles which are sharing common tags with the cat. So maybe, right?
Yeah, I can here match and.
Yeah.
Yeah. So only adoption process and cats, for example. Or you can match them but by this related articles field from Peter, maybe. Yeah. So everything I'm showing you here is just like you have a database table, and yootheme Pro is looking into this table and pulling from all the sites the contents in here. And it's really easy, build up layouts with it, and you are not dependent on a page builder at all. But you can be dependent if you want. So if your website has 10 subsites and every site is different and every site has different information, and you think, oh, this dynamic content thing is way too complicated for me, you can just use the builder. I think I used it here in the Contact Us section. I want to reload because, yeah. So I have here this Contact Us page with just information, and this is just built in the builder. I can use it also very simple. I don't have to pull dynamic content if I don't want to. I just create an element, I write Contact Us, I have directly the preview here, and all is good. So you don't have to use the dynamic sources, but it's a good possibility to be independent and to use the power of Joomla Core. One more thing about the templates. When you are here in this cat template, that's maybe interesting for those that are already using yootheme Pro. When you're in the template and you see that the headline has some error, you want to change something in the article, before you had to close yootheme, go into Joomla Core, change the information there, save it, close it, go back to yootheme Pro, navigate to the templates again, go into this article and look, continue your work. And now there's a secret pen. When you hover the article title, a pen appears here, and when you click on it, you can just edit the article, the core information here, and everything is updated. I normally had this talk at Joomla Day US and in Tilburg to show the new features of yootheme Pro 4, but most of you did not use yootheme before. So I just will show you some new features and give you the opportunity to ask again, okay? So when I'm here in this overview of the cats, I have some section here above each other. And when I go into the builder, you see that I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever sections for the cats. I have here again dynamic content. And that's because of a new feature of yootheme 4. It has repeatable sections. It's the same like I set it up before. In the section, I click on Edit in Advanced, and I select articles as the source of this of the section. And in the section itself, any element I place here, I have to match it with the parent source first, again. And then say, for example, this should be the intro article or the, I don't know if I have a full image. No, I did not add any full images, so it's the intro image. And it will be repeated automatically as many articles I have here. And the reason behind it is because this is a Joomla block view. Just a Joomla block view. It's not a specific menu type even. It's Joomla Core still. So it knows all the articles that should be repeated on this page and repeats it as often as they should appear. Now I have, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cats. I close this. I go into the menu. And I say here in the cat section, options, no block layout, that I want to only show 2 cats here. Back into yootheme. It's only 2 cats because my block view is set up like that. And in the template, I did not before, but I can add a pagination as an element. And I can set it up to say previous and next, or even numbers. So now I can go through the pages even. And the templates that I set up here, I can also say that the template is not only for, it's not for all the pages, but just for the first page of the blog. So you can make the first page of the blog more introducing the topic, and the other pages just, list the other articles. So you can limit the templates. Then a new feature in yootheme Pro 4 is already done here. That's not good. One moment. I just do it without commenting it, and then I should show it again. Voila. Okay. So this is my FAQ section. I show it on the full screen. Each of these accordion articles pulls an article from the FAQ, like this. But what if I don't want to have it like this? What if my client says, I want to filter the FAQs by topic? Then I have another element, not an accordion element. I could use a grid element, for example. Here, such one element, and this element can be filtered. But if I don't use dynamic content and type in all the information, and the client changes his mind, I'm lost, because I have to recreate each item from new. And therefore, there's a new feature in yootheme Pro. In the Advanced tab, I can transform the element to another element. I click here and say I want to have a grid. So now I already have a grid with the informations. And now just only few things are missing, like the filters. And I can filter it by the text. And in the settings of Grid Pro, I have to enable the filter. And I can set it to center, for example. No, maybe like this. Yeah, that's more nice. And now I have a filter at the top that is dynamically filtering all the FAQ contents here. It's also a very nice feature. One more feature in yootheme Pro 4 I did not have the time to talk about in the other sessions is the focal point. I can show this to you in the breeds. Every breed has a full article image that is in landscape mode. And now maybe I want to use these images, but I want to have them squared. So I can define a focal point for these images. I can say my subject is always in the middle of the image, or is on the top right. I can even deliver this information in a custom field maybe, and say for this article it's in the center. And then I can define here a size of the image that is squared, and the images will be cut squared, and the focal point will be used that is set up. The focal point is, I guess, here. Image focal point. It's set up to center now, but I can set it to top left. And then possibly after deleting the cache in yootheme Pro, it will be updated. Yeah. Or no? I think so. Yeah, and yootheme Pro has a lot of nice features also with animation effects. For example, I created here animation effect in the adapter pad section here. Here the section pulls articles from the adoption process. So every number you will see now is one article from the adoption process. But you see that the background is scrolling. You see that? But in the foreground, the articles are changing. There's some kind of parallax effect you can set up in yootheme Pro. Or in the contact us section, you have even settings to blur image or scale it on scrolling. So you can really make impressive layouts with it. So, and if you are not sure how to build up a layout for yootheme Pro, yootheme has a library. Here at the top right, there's a library. When you click on it, you can save your own layouts to My Layouts. Here a lot of layouts saved. Or you can use the layouts that yootheme Pro built for you. And it's a lot. And you can maybe find a layout that matches your goals the most. You can choose any of them. And then your layout will be replaced. Here's a nice popover element, for example. And then you can either match it with your dynamic sources, or you can just fill it manually by yourself. You can drag and drop the sections if you want. You can delete the sections. Yeah, you can do everything with it. What I did with the site is I uploaded, I will update it to the latest Joomla version. I uploaded this pet shelter core Joomla site. I made a Akiba package of it, so you can download this. And I also saved all the layouts here in the library. You see, I numbered them by 001, 002, and so on. I saved all these layouts, and you can download them too. And if you use yootheme Pro, you can use it as like a training material, as an example. There's also the session online from Joomla Day Netherlands, so you can follow along and try to rebuild these templates.
The layout you call, it's all the yootheme configuration you made? Yes.
So the layouts you save here, you can download them and they will be saved as JSON files. Just small JSON files. And then you can here, if you click on library, you can upload them here. You select them and then they are here. The same thing you can do with the style. So let's go on a page that is Homepage, okay. So here you have different settings in yootheme Pro. You have the layout section. In the layout section, you can make generic settings for the site. You can upload here a logo, for example, a logo for inverse sections, a mobile logo. Then you have a header setting. You can set up how the header should look like. For example, logo centered, like this, or above the navigation. So you can easily change this. You can set up the width of the header. You can set up if it's sticky, like this, or if it's just sticky on scroll up, means now it's not sticky, but in the moment I scroll up, it appears again. Then you have specific settings for mobile as well. Oh, something is not right here. That's better. Specific settings for mobile. So you can also set the breakpoint when the menu should break into a mobile menu, and also define the layout, if the logos should be centered, if the burger menu should appear on the right or on the left side. There are different opinions about this. Here at the bottom of yootheme Pro, you have the displays, so you can switch to mobile view as well, and look how it would look on the mobile screen. Or you can also click again on it, thank you, Mark, and see how it looks like on Portrait Mobile. And here, for example, I can see, oh no, I don't like this. Let's go to the template. And the question we had before with the specific settings on the layouts, I can say that on phone landscape, this should be, 2, 3, 1/3. No, I don't like this as well, but yeah, you can set it up how you want it to be. And now you see the images are positioned centered to this column. This is also a setting you can do. So you can do basically almost everything with a setting. You don't need much custom CSS for it. So column 2 is at the bottom. I want to have it at the top. And that's how I want it to be, for example. No, still not nice. Maybe it's even better below each other. Okay, so I showed you the focal point, means that the images can be cropped depending on the focal point. I showed you the repeatable sections. There's also the possibility to repeat columns. This goes very deep into detail, but I show it to you in the breeds. So before we used cards, I had this grid element here, and in the grid element, I pull the content from the articles and say I want to have, I did this wrong again, one moment. Okay. So I pull the content from the articles from this page, and here the title, for example, and the teaser text. And then I can also match the image, the link, and so on. But that's very limited because this grid element does not have many fields in it. So how to solve this? There are different possibilities to solve the issue if I want to show more information here. One possibility to solve it is to make an override. To override an element, I create a child theme, but yootheme child themes were invented before Joomla child themes, so you must not confuse it. Yootheme child themes is just you create a folder. The folder is named yootheme _ and then whatever name you want to have it to be. And you create this child theme. Then in yootheme Pro, in the settings, save. And the yootheme Pro settings in advanced, you can select this child theme here. Then yootheme knows that you want to use this one. And now I can, there's a folder vendor, yootheme builder elements in the main template. And this folder contains all the grid items that you can use in yootheme. And now you can just take the grid item here, grid and grid item, they two belong together, and put it into a folder named builder and paste them here. So now I have an override. I created an override of the grid item. I want to add now a new field. So I go into grid item because I want to add the field in grid item. And that's how the definition of this element looks like. And you see in the grid item we have fields, title, meta, content. That's what you saw where I matched the dynamic content with. And I want to add maybe specific field called CSS or whatever. I want to pull any CSS class or definition. And I place it after the title. Now I scroll to the bottom of the file because I have to mention this field here also. Now I save this and let's go back to the layout, to my grid, and I have to wait. Live presentation. Docs. Let's add it from new maybe. Yeah. I have the CSS field here, you see? And I can add any fields. I can add an image field, what I need, and extend the yootheme Pro element. And of course, it's not enough just to add a field. I have, of course, to say in this element template, yootheme makes this with props, image, for example, or has link, or image alignment, and so on. So this props image thing, the same way how this is used, I can pull the CSS information. I can just place it now anywhere. Just to show you, echo props CSS, that's my information that is in the CSS field. Articles, title, and in the CSS I just put in the text or whatever. No, they are not filled, I guess. Yeah, here the hits on the article, and it's in my new field, so it displays right, and I can use the field in the template where I want it to have. So this is one possibility to display more information in a grid than just the ones that are here. The other possibility was back then, there's a great third-party extension for yootheme Pro. It's Grid Pro by Flat Studio. I can install this. So there are a lot of third-party extensions for yootheme already. We can have a look into it. One of them that are really nice is Grid Pro. And if I install it, I have another element. Here in my list from grouped into Flat Studio, Grid Pro, and Grid Pro is very huge. So you don't have only title, meter, content. You also are able to add sub-layouts to it. Means I can build here a whole article around it, basically. Add columns, add elements, define how many columns it has. In the settings, I have to enable set layouts. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's very messy, but I think you know where I'm going to. Okay. And Grid Pro is really powerful, and it has also the possibility with the filters at the top. You have even a search for the grid. It's really powerful. But what you can also do since yootheme Pro 4 is to have repeatable columns. And that works similar to the repeatable sections, but you don't set up the section to a parent source. You set up the specific column. So you click in the, sorry, too fast, I know. You click in the row settings, then in the column settings, again on advanced, and here I have the dynamic content pulled from the articles. And then every element I set up here in this column is repeated as often as this content exists. It's similar to this overview I showed you before with the sections. But sections are sections, full width. And this is with columns. So they are repeated all over the place. Yannick's question about the different data sources. I show you some examples. For example, on my own website, I did not manage to update it to yootheme 4 yet, but it's already with Essentials connected. And I have here a menu item. It's called Customer Reviews. And it pulls the customer reviews directly from the Google Business Suite. So if you write a review for me, it will appear here in the next 60 seconds without having me to update the site. And all GDPR conform. So it's not a direct connection to Google. It's the website that pulls the information from Google and caches it and displays it on the website. So here are the customer reviews. Same here for Italian restaurant nearby. Also yootheme Pro page. They have a menu. And this menu here, that's not coming from the website. The menu is on Google Sheets. And if the chef decides to change a price of a dish, he has the Google Sheets on his phone as a shortcut, and he can change the price anytime. There's no, how can I log into the back end? What was the address? And where do I have to click? That's just Google Sheets. And he does not need anything more. he will never change anything on the website than that. And what he also can do, we did not implement it yet, but also update the daily dishes, for example. I made last year example also on Joomla Day US. And this is also an example website for a restaurant. And here are the dishes pulled from the Google Sheet. Let's see if I can access it now. Yeah. So you see here the Google Sheet. And I don't know if you can read it, but it says salad. And I say here, yeah, what do we want to eat? Yesterday I was divided. I want to eat tiramisu. Miso. Wow. And 99 euro because it's a very special one. Yeah. So this is our daily dish. And I just updated it on Google Sheets. And let's go back on the side. It says still salad. Yes, because I did not reload it. But now I reload it. It's already there. So it's really nice and customer friendly to update their site with the filters on top and so on. What I also tried, but it's not finished yet, is you can even write scripts in Google Sheet to create a PDF from this menu. So, okay, some of you know I'm not a coder. I made this in collaboration with ChatGPT. It did not work out so good, but this is a script that transforms this menu into a PDF. So when I click here on play, it creates a PDF on my Google Drive with all the dishes below each other and the prices next to it, but not so nice yet. I'm still working on it. But I also decided that because it's not so customer friendly to go into app scripts and click there on the play button, I rather would try to solve it on the site itself. So have a button here at the bottom and say export menu as PDF. I think that will be the way to go. So he can always have also the printed menu just from his Google Sheet, because the website pulls it and I can work with the website. Okay, my boyfriend came here to France. It's his first Joomla day. And I made a website for him. He's a bike dealer. And there's...
What's the name?
The website is based on yootheme Pro as well. Surprise, surprise. And he is selling electric bicycles. And the electric bicycles, they have specific brands, like Specialized, for example. And all the contents are imported every night from the shop into the website and displayed with the dynamic content of yootheme Pro. And in the Joomla 4 version, you can install J-filters. Mark is an expert on J-filters. With J-filters, you can filter your content by custom fields. So if you want to only show Specialized bikes, you just click on it and the website will show the Specialized bikes. That's a development version, by the way. Just if you see any errors, it's not a live site. Then you can filter maybe by the size. I just want to have the smaller bikes. I just want to have the available bikes. So it filters only very light bikes. Now we have 2 bikes left in the filter. JFilters is a paid extension, and it works with yootheme Pro and also with yootheme Core. And you can set up in JFilters which custom fields you want to filter. It's made by Sakis, and Sakis made already a lot of presentation on Joomla Days. So if you're interested in this filter, you can look up in YouTube and see his presentations about the specific extension.
By the way, how do you import every night the...
That's a custom script.
Okay.
So I had a script made with, I first had a custom script that imports all the contents into J2 store. Then there was the discussion to upgrade to Joomla 4, but J2 store was not available yet. So we tried with Commerce Lab store, and I made a complete new import with RO CSVE.
All right.
Yeah, but we still wait for J2 store to be stable because, yeah, that's a better choice to go with, for me at least. And yeah, the current website is still running on Joomla 3, and I hope that J2 store will be released soon so we can update. But that's also a very nice thing about yootheme Pro is that you can save all your layouts, export them, and import them. I built up the new website on Joomla 4, realized now I still need J2 store, so it was really just a couple of hours, backport everything to Joomla 3, import the templates back again, and make it running. And we could launch the website very fast. And the same thing is if you have yootheme Pro on a WordPress website, if someone is harassing you to work on WordPress, there's a trick. You say, oh, I don't know, maybe I could do it, but just if I can use yootheme with WordPress. Then you start working on WordPress with yootheme Pro. And then the customer wants to have a specific feature. And then you can say, I can do it in WordPress, but we could also switch easily to Joomla, and it's way easier. And then you can build up the website in Joomla and export all your layouts from WordPress, because you can just export from WordPress, import into Joomla, and you have a very fast migration. So that's a little trick maybe to convince the client during the collaboration that your choice for Joomla is the better choice.
Yeah, but you will have to reset all the dynamic contents. It's because the contents are not the same in WordPress.
Yeah, I think WordPress has also custom fields, but maybe you have to reassign the. But if you have like.
But also thanks to the new yootheme 4 feature, which is selecting the parent source. Before, if you had like image, custom field 1, custom field 2, custom field 3, then you had to go one by one, reselect the correct source.
Correct.
But like now, it's easy because it's just at the section level that you rechange. Oh no, it was a WordPress something, and now it's a Joomla title, and you do it once, and all your elements are within the section are updated. So it's indeed you have to do something manually, but it goes straight.
And in yootheme Essentials, just to show you also the sources, you can create either business profile source, Cloudflare stream, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Vimeo, just a single CSV file, database, Google Sheet, or RSS feed. And as said, you can also write own dynamic source plugins if you are able to, and just insert them here. There are also free plugins for yootheme Pro. There's a very nice plugin, the shape divider. Sorry. System, install. Shape divider. And the shape divider adds the possibility to add some more action into the sections. You can say, for example, that there are clouds at the bottom and they should be white, like this. So you can select from different shapes and make it more interesting. So if you get used to yootheme Pro and you have a full functioning core website and you want to transform it in such a template, it takes you about maybe 3 to 6 hours, maybe. Correct me if...
And the more you use, the faster,
Yeah.
the more efficient you are. And you can, because you mentioned that you could save the layout of the
Yeah.
whole page, but you can also just save the layout of a section or of a sub layout or of a given element. So maybe I did something nice on a website, but just for a section. Well, I'll just take that section from one website to another, and I
Yes.
don't have to click 20 times to create something really special.
From another website or from the same, I have
From
here
the
the
same, yeah.
adopt a pet section. I can click here on the save button, save it to the library and reuse it. And I'm very fast seeing things, so I do it really fast. I needed for this website maybe 2 or 3 hours and was ready, including thinking about how it should look like. So you see the process of building such a website is so fast, and you can't write Joomla overrides at such a time, even if you have them prepared. So yeah, for me, yootheme is a game changer. Any questions so far? You want to see more examples, maybe?
No, just you always keep the default Joomla template when you work with Yootheme?
Do you mean if I uninstall it?
Yes.
No, I don't
So
uninstall.
you install Joomla
Yeah.
with the default template and you work after
Yeah.
with Yootheme.
So Cassiopeia is...
Yootheme is everything. It is the builder we are
Yeah.
seeing, but it is also the template.
Yeah.
So you just disable Cassiopeia.
It's
and
because you don't see anything in the template section of Joomla. It's an extension, in fact.
Yeah, it does not bother me that it's there. And
Overwrite of.
maybe
it's,
just show the system templates, and then it will be clear.
so you have site
It's just like
templates.
any template. You have the Cassiopeia template and you have the Yootheme
Ah, okay.
templates.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
It's like
There are
but it's-
template files.
Yes.
Okay.
but it's all in one, because you have to. It is as if it was a template, but it is also the builder inside the template
It's a
with the
CTK
override,
plus template.
everything. And the fact that another difference with other providers, if I may, is that not only if you choose a template provider and you choose the Joomla template, okay, because you like the global look, and then it comes to the point, oh yes, but I prefer the slider of January. Yeah, I prefer the footer of March, and I prefer the header of, and no, you are stuck. You install a pack,
Yes.
and that's it. Here, what you have is not just the June edition, the June template. You can pick on the whole thing, or any part of it, from any template of the past, and any template of the future, as soon as they are released. So like, if there is a new slider next month, I say, gosh, so sexy. I want it. I just changed that element in my website. So yeah, we get access to the past, everything from the past and everything from the future, globally or specifically.
Yeah, and you can just switch the style if you are not confident anymore, or you don't like the style of your website anymore and you want to relaunch it. You can just select it to be, for example, this dark theme and the website. Okay, I adjusted the colors of the default theme. That's why it's still orange and green, but I can reset this. Reset to defaults. Yeah, and I have a completely different appearance of the site. With gradients and stuff and whatever.
It works because you design a standard article, Joomla article. If you have article with not precise field, it can't work.
Yes, so that's
In fact you think article like a data field.
exactly,
Standard
yeah,
data field.
exactly. So you have, but
to apply all what you decide after with yootheme.
But as said, you also are able to just create your page builder site, but then you're dependent on it. I mean, it's not a problem. You can, I always have mixed websites. So if we look at this website, that's also a yootheme Pro, and I have here testimonials. And these testimonial sites, that's everything pulled from custom fields. The logo from the company, the project data, even the gallery here at the bottom is pulled from custom fields. Let's go into more this one. Here I have even more project data. So if there's no data, I can say don't display the section if there's nothing. No problem. And that's a predefined I'm wrong. One moment. Here. So that's a category. And I have just the headline, the text, the logo, the project data in a repeatable, not repeatable, in a subform field. So I can add as many project data as I want. If I add more than 4, it will be displayed in a slider. Name of the person, a reference to an image gallery, where to pull images from, and so on. So this is all Joomla core and custom fields. But we have, for example, the home page. And the homepage just exists one time, and it's no issue for me to rebuild it someday if I need to. So I just put the information here in the builder. I don't mess around with dynamic content because it's much faster to just write the information here. And the customer could also, if he wants to, change it in the builder because it's quite user-friendly, in my opinion. Yeah. Last times I was always not fast enough. Now I'm too fast. Any wishes to show you?
Something very interesting in yootheme is also that yootheme is using the library Wikit. Wikit, I don't know.
Yes.
But it's very useful to adapt the text and add some features. Very interesting.
Yeah, so I think UIKit is a very nice framework. I was always a Bootstrap girl, but I think UIKit is more modern and it's very light. And I did not test this before, so this will be now either an embarrassing moment or not. But let's try it.
For end user, it's really easy to use because they can have a window open on the documentation and to write the text with directly.
So let's see. I did not test it before, I swear. Let's see what the website with yootheme Pro is giving us.
Should it not be good? The connection here is bad.
Yeah, exactly. So mobile performance is 88. I think we could improve this by maybe making the header image smaller on mobile or something. On desktop, oh, we have even worse performance. Okay, so this is not very much something I can be proud of, 79, but it's still good. I mean,
It's vastly
We-
enough. It's super. There's
We-
just no wasting time on that.
we have a slider in the header, so improving this maybe,
Can you
yeah.
show-
Hey, but
Can you do
you
that?
are not in private mode, so you could also interfere with that. In your browser, if you have add-ons on your browser.
Yeah, I have add-ons, yeah.
Yeah,
so-
okay. So you should always test in incognito
Yeah.
private mode if you want a reliable results.
Okay.
You should go down and look at the forward vitals, because these numbers are all at the top, they don't mean anything. If you go to let's go to the code, yeah, here. You got the first contentful range of CP is half a second, so it's excellent. The largest is 0.7, so yeah, the prime you have is CLS 0.7, that's moving parts.
Yeah.
That's the one.
The
you want to
slideshow,
want to
yeah.
fix.
Yeah, but so performance out of the box is really nice, and yeah, I had also the website clear my cache. Mark helped me to translate it, for example. That's also built on yootheme Pro, but before I built it on yootheme, I built it on myself, and I always struggled to get the highest ratings for the performance. I built it based on Bootstrap, okay, but it was always a struggle to make it highly performant. And with yootheme Pro, I managed to have 100% in every category. Now I have here ads, so this could be different again, but it's very performant.
Speaking about UIKit, could you go to the UIKit website, you show the progress thing, and then you show how you implemented it.
Yes.
Because that was very smart when I saw that.
Thank you. UIKit has different components here. You see here accordion, for example. You know that from the element in the FAQ I showed to you. And alert, for example, that's also an existing element from yootheme Pro. And there is one element, it's called progress. Here. And this is just displaying a progress bar in a nice layout. And you can see here on the UIKit documentation how the markup should look like. And the pet side I showed you. And the breed section. You have here, I used here the progress elements to display the activity level or if it's a good fit with cats or dogs and so on.
It's a custom field from 1 to 10, or 0 to 10. Just an integer.
Yeah. And what I did here is in the content of this item, I pull here the activity level, this number from 1 to 10. And with this pen, I just add before, just the UIKit markup, and after. So it displays it in a progress bar.
And also the search and replace is nice.
The search and replace is really powerful. Customer asked me, they have an intro text at the top of an article and then the full text article. It was a design agency proposed this layout with the intro text. And they said, oh, they really like it. Let's do it like that. And then in the process, they said, oh, we have 7,000 articles. Now we have to add everywhere intro text on it. Couldn't you add the first 2 sentences of the full text at the top if nothing else is filled? And yeah, that's where ChatGPT helps me again, because how many of you like regex? Or how many of you hate regex? At least one.
Yeah.
So you can really nicely ask ChatGPT to write some regex rules for you. That's such a time saver. Yeah, so I searched for the first 2 sentences and really complex regex, and yeah, it displayed them the first 2 sentences. And you can do even more with that. Replace comma with something else, or
I use that also to URL when I want to remove HTTP, because the custom field mentions HTTP because it's a link, it needs to be a right URL. But so the link is correct with HTTP, but I don't want to display it as text, so I just remove it.
So you pull the custom field URL in the title, make a search replace, and pull the same field into link without search replace, and you have the correct link displayed there. A very nice thing, because we have still time, surprisingly, I can show you this parallax effect in detail. And that works like that. I needed some time to learn it, because it's a little bit complicated. So I have here a section at the top, here, this section. And in the section settings, here I added this transparent background with the cats here in the background, if you see them. And here in the settings, I said that this section is 2 viewports high. But actually it's not. Because after the scrolling ends, it's in fact like scrolling in a window of one viewport. So this section is 2 viewports height, and the first panel is displayed normally, and in the settings of this panel I set up the opacity is 1 at the beginning, 1 still at 80%, and 0 when it leaves the viewport. And here at the end I have settings when the animation should start. The animation should start if the element is fully in the viewport, so 100 viewport height. Then this 100% plus 100 viewport height, it's a little hack to make calculation easier. So you can write this always in the beginning. And now I deduct 133.33 viewports height, because my section is 200 VH height. And the animation starts at 100, so I have 100 left. And I have 3 elements divided. 100 divided by 3 is 33.3. So this is when the animation should end, because then the next element will come. And the next element has also parallax settings. So its opacity is 0 in the beginning, because it's the next one. At 20% it gets a full opacity, 80% still 1, and then it fades out. And then at the bottom I have the start of 133 and the end at 166. And the next one is then starts at 166 and ends when the section ends. And that's how you can set up this parallax effects. And when you go here and contact us, in the builder. I have just here separate images. And I even played with translate epsilon and opacity and with blur. So here, this animation is also made with the settings here, but little more distributed, not calculated. And you can make very nice animations. For example, like at the Polestar website, I really like the site. It's not yootheme Pro, I guess so.
Not yet.
Not yet. But that's so nice. If you scroll here, no, that's not the site. One moment. Polestar 2, this one. If you scroll here, that's also just a parallax effect. It just pulls different images while you're scrolling. And building such a website with yootheme Pro is really, if you know where to click, really, really fast.
It's like Apple website.
Yes, yes. So this is a classical yootheme website. Okay, not this animation maybe. You would need to do something for this animation, but that's a classical website. I would like to do a contest or so and rebuild it and see how fast I am. Yeah, so any more questions? No? Good then. Thank you for being here.